Hi guys, how's everyone doing? So, if you're tuning into this for the very first time, then my name's Marianne. I'm a counsellor. I work with couples and I also work with individuals. I specialise in relationship counselling, but I also work with individuals with depression. And if you're watching this live for the first time, then this is like something I've been doing for a while. As part of work, I come down to Kent once a month, and whilst I'm here, I try and make my live video on each of my channels. So I'll be making this video now at 6. I'm also going to be going over to my personal page on Facebook at 6:30, and then to my support page, which is called A Debt Free Life, which is about finances and helping people get out of debt, and that's at 7 o'clock. The reason I do this is because I'm so busy most of the time that I don't get a chance to make many live videos. Occasionally I'll make them randomly, but this is like a set thing because I know where I'm going to be, so I always give you advance notice. So let me get on with the video. Now, this video, I know it's Friday night, and really on Friday nights people just want to relax, watch some TV, maybe go out and stuff, but I'm trying to make videos which I think you'll find useful. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been engaging, leaving your comments, sharing my video, giving me like really good feedback. I really appreciate it. So this video is, the reason for it first of all is because I'm a member of lots of groups on Facebook. I'm a member of depression groups, I'm a member of relationship groups. Hi, whoever's online, thanks for joining me. I'm a member of relationship groups, quite a few actually. And in those groups, they have lots of discussions about various things. Sometimes they'll put a question and ask people to respond. Sometimes they'll put a debate on there. There's lots of things around cheating, lots of things around exes. There was a question today that I was involved in a discussion about, do you think it's wrong for a man who's in a relationship to seek advice about his relationship with another woman? And that was an interesting one. I might make a video about that. But this video is about 5 things you should try not to say if you're trying to get over someone. And hi, whoever's online, thanks for joining me. The reason I'm making this video is because this comes up quite a lot. It comes up in my counselling with some of my clients, but it also comes up in discussions regularly. So it was part of the page, one of the discussions actually, they said, one of the ladies put, she will never, even though she's not with the ex, she will always have feelings for him. So I'm going to make a list of 5 things that I think you should never say or try not to say if you're trying to get over someone. So the first thing is, I will never meet anyone like my ex. Do you know how many times I hear people say that? Now, you've got to think of this. I'm talking to you as a counsellor, but also from a psychological perspective, okay? So it's not a judgmental thing, it's not a criticism, and it's not just a personal opinion on things. It's about psychologically, the impact of using certain words has a major impact on how your life pans out, especially in relationships. So if you think about what you're saying for a moment, if someone says, I will never, and that's a key word, meet anyone like my ex, then what you're basically saying is that throughout the rest of your life, whoever you date is never going to match up to that person. You're never going to be as happy as you were with that person. And also there's no one else on the planet that you can be compatible with, which all of those 3 things are not actually true, are they, if you think about it? So it's important to think about the types of words and language you use, but also psychologically to think about the type of energy you put with that. Because I think I know where it's coming from, because you've had such a brilliant relationship. We've all had really good relationships that the person just got you, you know what I mean? You bonded with them, you give your heart 100%. And I've had that experience as well. But one thing I would say that is, if that person was as wonderful and that person was supposed to be with you, then you would still be together. That's the truth of the matter. For whatever reason, you both made a decision, or one of you did, for it not to work. So by continuing to say, I will never meet anyone else like that, you're closing your heart off to love. So I would say, if you're trying to get over someone, change the language straight away. So you might even just soften it in the beginning. So instead of saying, I'll never meet anyone, how about saying something like, that past relationship I had was wonderful. I've got so many memories of being with that person. I hope I can meet someone else where I can have half the amount of fun, but even whoever I meet in the future, I know that I'm a good person, whether that's good woman, good man, and I know I can create better memories or good memories, and leave it at that. You don't have to say anything negative or positive, but saying I'll never meet anyone else, I just don't think that's a good way to get over someone. So the second thing that I hear people say a lot as well, in fact I've put 5 things, but I've done 3 things on here, so I'll probably have to think of 2 more. The second thing is, I will always love him or her, or I'll always have feelings. In the discussion, hi whoever's joined me online, in the discussion, this group that I was a member of, there was at least like 600 comments, probably more, and I was scrolling through them, and most of the people were saying, even though my ex treated me really badly, even though I was in an abusive relationship, even though, you know, he did this or she did this to me, I will always have feelings for him, or I'll always have a place in my heart for this person, or I'll always love him or her. And I don't, to me, this is speaking as a person, not as a counsellor, I personally couldn't relate to that, and I couldn't understand it, because I can understand that when you fall deeply in love, and I know that people will say, I think movies have got a lot to do with this as well, you know, that people will say you can't just switch love on and off, or I can't just switch my feelings, or I can't, and no one's actually saying that like that's what you should do. But I think if you kind of say to yourself that you were always going to have feelings, it's similar to what I've just said in the first bit, that you'll never meet anyone else. What you're basically saying is that your heart, the door hasn't been closed on that relationship. And this is like a major thing, I would say, out of all the other thing I'm going to talk about. I'm going to make it 3 things, not 5, because I can't think of 2 more. This is really important to understand this. When a relationship ends, the love doesn't have to end, the memories don't have to end. Do you know, occasionally I still think about my exes, but the way that I think about them is in such like a fleeting way. Like I might think, oh, I remember I went to this restaurant with my ex, or I hope my ex is happy with someone else. I'll even think things like that, you know, I hope he's happy, or I wonder what he's doing. But there's no emotional attachment to that person. And the reason I had to do that, and it took me 2 years, I think, with my last relationship to get over it properly, is because if you want to meet someone and you want to have a deep and meaningful relationship with them, you can never ever do that whilst you're still holding a torch for your ex. You just can't do it, because your heart can't operate and function, and your mind can't either function where you've still got love for one person but you're trying to engage and open up your heart to another person. It's not possible. It's 2 competing and conflicting things that you're trying. So I would say that use the gentle approach and just be kind to yourself as well when you do it. But just think of it in a way that that person held a special place in your heart at that time, you know, whether things went badly, things went good or bad, you're now in a different place in your life, you know, you can't go backwards. It doesn't matter if it was 2. There are people holding on to relationships from 10, 15, 20 years ago. There are people in marriages that are still talking about their first marriage. You won't be like my first wife. You know, or we haven't got that connection like my third husband that I had with him. And I don't understand, because, I mean, I know, like, this is just personal, this isn't a counselling. You can't go back and do anything about that. And the thing is, the energy, because I'm like someone who's a big believer of like energy and vibrations, the energy it takes you to think about that person deeply and still hold loving feelings towards them is the most powerful energy, because love is a powerful emotion. So there's no way in the world then that you can have a fulfilling relationship with another person whilst your heart is open. And I also think people do it because they feel that that's it. If they get over this person, then that's the end, you know, then there's no reason to keep that connection. And I think it's also like not a victim thing, but also like it serves a purpose. That's what I'm trying to say. If you can keep remembering this person, if you can still hold your heart open to them, then it means, you know, you're feeling something, you know, you're getting something from it. And you can get that buzz from other things. It might not need to be another relationship. Maybe you could find that buzz and that passion and that love and that energy with something else. But I just think if you're trying to get over someone, using words like always, I will always love them, I will always have feelings for them, They'll always hold a place in my heart. Your brain only hears the word always, so it means you're not gonna be released from that person until you say, you know, that's my past. So yeah. By the way, if anyone's leaving comments or hearts or anything, I can't see it on this phone. This phone is a bit temperamental. Sometimes I can see people coming on, who you are, and I usually call out to you, but I'll just say hello, whoever's online, when I can't see who it is. So thanks for joining me. And the third one, because as I said, I can't think of 5 things, is I'll never get over him or her. So they're all like linked in one way, but if you think about it, this is another powerful statement to make. When you use words, if you notice that I've used the words, I will never meet anyone like my ex, I will always have love for my ex or feelings for them, or I'll never get over them. You're just setting yourself up in a way, because you're in control of what happens in your life, basically. There are things that are out of your control. There are many, many things that we've got no control over. The weather's one of them. You know, lots. I can think of loads, but that's not the point. Why focus on, you know, the things that you can't control? You can control how you feel about a person. You can't like stop your heart from thinking about someone and from loving someone straight away, but you can make a conscious effort to get over that person. And do you know what? What I've realised as well in life is that it's actually easier to get over someone if you put the effort in. In the same way as if you were going for a job interview, or you were going for like something really badly that you really wanted. Thanks for joining me, whoever's come online. You would take steps to do it. You would plan. You would prepare. You would be focused. You would be driven. You would say, I'm going to get this. You know, no matter what happens, I'm going to do this. Now, if you take the same approach to getting over someone, then you will, because as I said, there's one relationship took me 2 years, but other relationships, the minute they've ended, I've been fine. Now, that people might think, oh, that's a bit, that means you didn't love them in the first place. That's what someone said on the page. They said, if you don't have feelings for your ex, it means you never loved them in the first place, which is, no, that's ridiculous, because you at the time you were engaged with that person and connected with them. Those were the feelings then. It takes a lot of power and a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to walk away from a relationship and to then, you know, be completely free of that person. It takes work, but it can be done. So as I've said, saying I'll never get over them means that you're not freeing yourself up to love again. And the thing is, love is beautiful and relationships are beautiful. What I've noticed as a couples counsellor, and even when I work with individuals where they're struggling in their relationships, once you unlock, you know, the depth of the emotion, once you work with that person, you know, everyone can have loving relationships. And I think whilst you're stuck in the past, and the bottom line is the minute that person becomes your ex, that's the past. If you start doing things like, actually the fourth thing is not what you say, but what you do. See, this is another one that's come up. If you stay friends with your ex, now this might be harsh, this is controversial for some people. I used to stay friends with my exes because I thought that it would make me a bad person, because we've always ended on good terms, and I've never had a relationship that's ended badly, or that I've had like any abuse or anything like that. It's always just been, you know, we just mutually, things are not going right. I've tried to stay friends because I thought that would make me look like a nicer person, that, you know, there's still that connection there, you know, just because it hasn't worked out, let's be friends. That is a clear fire way to staying stuck with that person. And it's also more psychologically damaging to try and stay friends with your ex sometimes. This is with the exception of someone you've had kids with. Now, I know some people are going to disagree on this, because I know lots of people who are friends with their exes and they say, yeah, my ex is getting married and they invite me to the wedding and we talk all the time and all this. And it's up to people. This is the personal opinion this is on this one. I just think if you've been intimate with someone and if you've shared memories with someone, trying to then be platonic, it's not, be realistic, it's not going to work. So there's always going to be that little sparkle there, that little, what's it called? That little spark, because you've known each other in a deep and meaningful way. So when you try and turn it into friendship, you're either trying to hold on to what was there before, but it's not, it's just in a different form. you're either encouraging temptation, because there's always that likelihood of, you know, maybe one of you will laugh, maybe one of you will glimpse at each other and the eyes will meet, or whatever it is. It's already happened before, so it can happen again. But the third thing that could happen is maybe you get into some old patterns that you used to have when you were dating. So now you're not dating anymore, but what that person did to irritate you when they were your boyfriend or girlfriend, they're doing that as your friend. And now you've got to relive it all again, purely because they're in your same space and you've invited them to remain in your life. Now, I just think if you make a clean break sometimes, it's, even though that takes a lot of bravery and a lot of courage to do, and that might come across to people as harsh, it just means you're free. At that point, when you walk away from your ex, and you walk away in a nice way, and you just say, look, we're not going to work, I wish you the best, hope you find someone that, you know, is good for you. You're setting that person free, and you're setting yourself free, and it means free to love someone else completely. And you can still have the memories, like I said, but it just means your heart is free. So whoever's been watching today, please leave your comments. I'll check all your comments later, and I do respond to all the comments. I do appreciate you for tuning in on a Friday night. You probably want to go off like to partying and stuff now. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. And I'll be continuing to make videos throughout Christmas, especially about some of the issues affecting people at Christmas in terms of depression, anything related to counselling. You can also send me a counselling inquiry via my Facebook page. You can send a message on this business page. You can send me an email at nujourneys@yahoo.com. You can also call me. All my details are on my page anyway. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want, I'm doing 2 more videos tonight. I've put a post up, but you can tune into them. Thanks for watching and enjoy your evening. Thank you. Whoever's online still, thank you as well for joining me. Thank you. Bye.